It's okay, systems, okay. How many of you guys are good at like marketing? So you want to learn, like you feel like you're good at marketing? Awesome. What about prospecting strategies?
That's a good one.
Okay. So let me try and nail a couple things. So whenever I sign up for class, there's always like one or two things that I'm hoping that I'm going to get out of the class. So if those jump out at you, just go ahead and let me know. I'm going to write them down so that way for sure if I don't cover them, we can at least talk about them, okay?
You mentioned balance in the marketing for this class, and I would love that you go.
Yeah.
You've got on balance.
Yes. Got it. Okay. And that's not in the workbook, so yes, absolutely. Okay, awesome. Well, I only recognize two of the faces in here, so nice to meet you. My name is Lizy Hoeffer. I have been a residential loan officer in Phoenix for about 21 years, which is kind of nuts. So I've seen a lot of different economies. So I have seen before the boom, believe it or not, and then when the early 2000 boom happened, I was there, the recovery and the recession, and then whatever we're going to call this era, because this is a pretty unique time frame where we've had, you know, it's like, I'm not sure what it is, right? But we will survive it, and it definitely, I will say, this last like 5-year period has been the most challenging of my career. Like, yes. So from the insane volume of 2020, 2021, to then this felt like a halt. So what I'm going to teach you here are timeless methods for prospecting, marketing, and systems, right? And systems, I believe, the more directed you are, the more freedom you have. So we'll also cover balance. Two people I want to introduce here in the room are partners of my home group that do a really phenomenal job. One is Nicole Sparrick. She's, you guys just want to, she does a bunch of really amazing social media content for real estate agents. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Okay. She used to actually work for one of my competitors, and honestly it was so annoying because she would always be the really great marketing gal that we always had to compete with. So I'm really pumped that she started her own business, and I love to support women-owned businesses. So Nicole, do you want to just give a minute of
Yeah, sure. I mean, Lizy kind of covered it. I was partnered with my home group in a different capacity, but over a year ago, started helping real estate agents, entrepreneurs, business owners really take their marketing to the next level. Marketing is tough. I'm sure we're going to get into how to balance and create true systems and processes, but a lot of people find that I just don't have enough time in the day, or I don't have the knowledge on it. So I really love to take what I love to do and help people with their business. So yeah, thank you, Lizy.
Got it. And then we have Colby, who does everything from like website management, branding, logos. I mean, you name it, she can probably figure out how to do it. She and her husband are super talented.
Thank you. Yeah, I am an activated agent. We are power partners here, but we can help you no matter where you're at. So we help all entrepreneurs as well. We just really, and we partner together a lot because we dial in your brand, help you stand out. I'll have brand consultation with you and see where you're at in your business. So no matter if you're brand new, if you've been in this industry 10 years, yeah, we just do everything custom around your needs and build out custom websites too. And work with like any systems of choice too. So that's kind of the beauty of it.
Perfect. Well, I always recommend that you guys check out all the partners that are here. We've all worked together for a really long time, and I can personally attest to their great work on both ends.
Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, so a couple things first. I just need to gauge how many years you guys are in the business. So if you've been in the business longer than a year, raise your hand. Okay?
A year and a month, I guess.
A year and a month? Okay. So we're all fairly new agents?
Yeah.
Okay, so the people who have been in business for more than a year, how long have you been in business?
Since 2016.
Perfect, okay. So
2010.
okay. All right, so I'm going to give you two some things, some nuggets to do right away, and then we're going to really talk about business structure and then just go into methods. So in this booklet, we're not going to cover everything in here because it is very dense. It goes over how to construct and qualify a database, in addition to just like how to be reviewing your business plan on a monthly basis. So I will tell you that I work in real estate for a long time, I've just said, and every single year we will do business planning, and I will do hardcore business planning with agents just to have them never look at their business plan once we leave. Okay? So the best business plans are the simplest ones with consistency. So if you are new to business, I want you to write this recipe down because this is basically all that you need. But you need a database of 300 people that know, like, and trust you, that you know, like, and trust back. Okay? So 300 people. Now, I get a lot of pushback often that people don't know 300 people that they would contact for business. But every single person, if you are close to the age of 30, will know like 1,500 people in a relationship capacity to be able to refer your business. It's like impossible, unless you are in a remote cult in the desert, for you not to know enough people. And if that was the case, then what we would do is put you in a networking group once a week to then start meeting people, okay? So the goal is how many people?
300.
Okay. No one is listening. Yes. Now, from there, the recipe is going to be to get 2 leads a day. Okay, in order to get 2 leads, that's going to be 5 to 10 impactful conversations every single day. And you'll have to see somewhere between 10 to 25 people a week. Okay, so it is not difficult to comprehend how that would work in terms of getting referrals. But in order to do that, you have to be really systematized, okay? So that's the recipe for success. It would be amazing if you could throw in like 2 to 5 note cards every single week, just, saying thank you for referrals, appreciating someone for a good work that they've done, right? Acknowledging people, right? But that's the general recipe for success. I've been a part of a lot of different coaching programs, and I will tell you that the variation is very similar amongst like Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini, the core, I mean, you name it. You have to have prospecting, and that's what prospecting is, okay? Now, for those of you who've been in business, my recommendation is going to be for you guys to do some data analyzation. So I would pull all of the closings for the last 24 months, and then I would compare it to your business back in 2018, okay? So 2018 is probably a more similar year to 2023 than 2020 and 2021. Last year we saw it was kind of like a hybrid year. We're going downward. But if you really want to see where your business is at, you want to look back all the way to 2018. 2018 was when interest rates rose into the 5%, and we were headed into a recession similar to we were headed now. And we saw a pretty significant lull in transactions and an increased amount of inventory. Now we have limited inventory right now, but we are seeing, decline in transactions because of high interest rates, and we are headed into a recession. So there's similar markets in terms of volume, even though the markets themselves look very different. Okay. Now, once you look at that, what I want you to do is figure out from there who your actual client is. And you always are going to go majority rules. And so for people that are brand new to the business, you're going to look at your database and do the same analyzation. So we're going to look and say, okay, who are the people in my database? So majority rules, like I said, so if you have people that are over the age of 30, married, live in a certain zip code, have children, don't have children, you really just want to narrow down who it is that you know. Because what we're trying to get established is a client avatar. So write that down. That's not in here. Okay. Now your client avatar is really important because this is what's going to dictate all of the value propositions that you provide. So in real estate, if you're looking at what other real estate agents do, typically they promote listings, open houses, closings, okay, and then they basically help everyone. The challenge with that is that your people who are not in real estate don't actually know how to translate this information. So they'll see a sold house but have no context as to where it's at, why it was such a good deal, who bought it, and why they should buy from you. They just know, oh, I'm so happy Kristen sold a house. That's basically what it says, right? And so an avatar really helps us direct our messaging. So for me, my avatar is, it is typically a young couple buying a property that's $435,000. in either the west side of town, like Litchfield Park, or in Scottsdale, right? Those are the two areas that I typically help. Most of my clients are first-time home buyers. They typically actually have their own down payments, and they're in like a median income range, somewhere between like, $70,000 to $100,000. Okay, so that's who I'm helping. Now, why it's important for me to know is because I can say, okay, what are the biggest challenges that are facing this type of client, and what type of solutions can I offer them, and how would I get that information across? Okay, so how do these people communicate? Right, so for my particular database, I know that I'm going to be hitting up social media quite a bit because my clientele is younger. So they're either younger millennials or older Gen Zs. And so they're going to be on social media. Okay, and in a variety of different formats. So I have a YouTube channel, which is long form content. I have an Instagram channel, which is shorter term content. And I'm constantly posting like the stagnant tiles for my older millennials. Okay, and that's the communication that they want. They text message quite a bit more frequently than other clients, so I have to know that whatever follow-up plan I have has to include a lot of text. Okay, and they really do not want to be sold to, which means that I have to run a lot of promotions, I have to teach a lot of classes, I'm having to give them items of value because they do not want to be sold to. Right? No one really wants to be sold to, but there are certain demographics of people that are more reluctant to it, and I would say that your millennial buyers are definitely, they fall into that category. Okay, so did you see how like knowing who I'm marketing to? Now I always look at my first and secondary sources, and I want to make sure that whatever I'm going to provide marketing wise, prospecting wise, is going to also serve my secondary set. Okay, so I help first-time homebuyers, but my second set is actually investors. So I deal with quite a few investors. And so for me, my marketing message, because I can't do it all, right? It's so hard to come up with a second marketing set, a second prospecting set. So I'm like, how would I communicate investment strategies to first-time homebuyers? Okay, so that's how that whole marketing message gets developed, and then the tools that I develop. So all right, so to break this down for you guys some more, okay? So I said first-time home buyers, $435,000 price point, right? I also deal with investors. Okay, so when I explain home ownership, always talk about ROI. I talk about a move-up strategy, which is how people upgrade their properties every 2 years. I talk about house hacking. I talk about rental appreciation, how people rent their properties out. So anytime I'm talking about marketing messages, they have a lot to do with investment concepts, but then I always make sure that whatever I am speaking to is always spoken in like a fluency that somebody in 8th grade would understand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then in terms of tools, so like marketing ongoing support, do you guys all know what HomeBot is? Mm-hmm. Okay, if you are newer, it is a home valuation email system. So it gets attached to people's homes, and it tells them how much equity they have and how quickly they can pay off their home loans with amortization schedules. So what's awesome is, you get your bank statements, your investment statements on a regular basis, but you really get nothing that shows your home equity. This shows your home equity, and we're able to send it out to our clients. So as somebody who's trying to speak investments to their clients and have an investment message, right, HomeBot is a perfect tool that then supports my solutions. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, teaching money classes helps my investment concepts, right? I have a budget plan that teaches people how to save their down payments for 36 months, helps my investors and my first-time home buyers. Okay? All right. So does that all make sense? Okay. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is I'm going to give 2 minutes, and what I want for you guys to do is just conceptualize what your ideal client might be, and you're going to have to go back and do a database, okay, to really figure this out. But just for the sake of this practice, I want you to have 2 minutes to figure out who your ideal client would be, how you're going to market to them, what of their problems might be, and a solution. Okay? So you have 2 minutes so that you don't overthink. Okay? It's just the matter of like literally trying to execute this. You're going to go refine this when you have the data. Okay? Timer starts now. So, can I call my seasoned agents? Because I feel like you might be.
Sure.
Okay. What did you write down?
Mine was actually very similar to yours. So yeah, very younger couples who are also first-time home buyers. The price point is right under 500,000. Yeah, that's my ideal
And then
client.
how would you communicate with them, or how
Oh.
are you communicating with them?
Yeah, so social media mostly. So mainly, so Instagram, Facebook. And then, of course, like you said, texting, because they don't look at emails and they do not pick up their phone for a phone call.
Okay, so one thing that I will also tell my seasoned agents is that once you go through the list of clients that you've helped, you always want to look at what brought the client in. So was it a prospecting activity? Was it a marketing activity? Was it a referral? And then who was that referral from?
Okay.
Okay. And what we're going to try to identify for you guys is what is actually working well, and then we'll take the highest ROI prospecting marketing, and then you're going to improve on whatever that system is by 30%. And then you are going to add one additional thing that supports that, and then you're going to drop whatever item it is that had the lowest producing ROI. And I do that 100% every single quarter, whether or not I love something a lot. Like I always drop my lowest accounts, I drop my lowest marketing stuff. I mean, I'll drop lead sources that I love unless I really feel like it needs a longer sales cycle. But it's really important because we only have so much time that we're constantly refocusing our time on the areas that we're gonna have the maximum amount of leverage. Okay, so one thing that I will tell you is that you nailed the niche client. You need to have location as a part of your niche.
Okay.
Because you're a real estate agent. I don't, because I am in loans, but I do typically know that the majority of my clients are in Litchfield Park or in Scottsdale, South Scottsdale, right? And so I know that whatever I'm doing location-wise for the events has to be in one of those places. Okay, so important. And then what I would also do is that I would also look at what type of property they're purchasing. Is it a condo? Is it a single family residence? Really just trying to hone in on that information. Okay, so for our newer agents, can I get you to share what you wrote down?
Kind of the same thing too. First time home buyers, I think for myself, if I narrow it down to one area where I can focus on learning and I can educate first time home buyers on what it takes to qualify for buying your first home, like jobs, savings, seasonings, and things like that. And I could really help that group of people and build my skills at the same time.
Perfect. Okay, so again, I just want you guys to just also pay attention to age, how we're gonna communicate, like, and things that I want you to be really, really aware of. And this is gonna hurt because some of you guys have already done this. So you cannot market and or promote things that people would never sell against, okay? So you cannot sell your great communication, your good customer service, the fact that you are honest. None of those things matter. Like when you're saying, I'm gonna educate them, if you're gonna teach them something that they can Google, it's actually not valuable. Okay, does that make sense? I know I got some like scared looks. Here's the deal. It's very hard to quantify any of those things, and who is going to say they have shitty customer service and they're gonna lie and steal from you? Like, they just don't, right? So here's when you are giving a value proposition, it has to come down to tangible items, okay? So how much time are you gonna save them, or how quick are you gonna close? Okay, so time. How much money you're gonna make them or save them, okay? And then how are you gonna eliminate stress from them, okay? Everything has to be quantifiable and guaranteeable. If it does not have, if you cannot say, I'm gonna follow up with your client 16 times guaranteed, and here is my guarantee, it's not enough of a value proposition. Like most real estate agents are like, I will sell your home and I'm gonna call you all the time and I'm gonna give you great service and I'm gonna take these pretty pictures. And the thing is that a client actually doesn't know what you guys do. And what's the difference between you and the other person also marketing the exact same things?
personality.
Sure, people can like you, right? I mean, that's definitely a differentiator, but it's hard to say, you're gonna like me more than so-and-so. You don't even know who so-and-so is, okay? I will say that a lot of sales, like a large percentage of it, is how much people will like you, but a lot of it is also, like I would say, people find the value that I provide essential for their business. And so let's say they like their loan officer a lot, oftentimes they will move over to using me because the value is better for them closing deals. Okay, and at the end of the day, if you can show people how to close deals, they will do that over you're just being nice. Okay? So, time, money, stress, and then your process has to be either super easy educational or it has to be really fun. Okay? So, I chose the educational route. I mean, I can be funny, but I'm definitely not like party central. I'm not going to do lots of events or happy hours, you know. I'm not going to take tequila shots with you, right? But I try to be as easy to work with as possible and as systematized as possible, okay? So like I said, easy or fun. You can choose. There's a real estate agent named Daniel Gluckin. It's Gluckin. I would recommend you look him up. He is the funnest real estate agent I have seen online. He like sells homes in South Carolina. He is super fun. The experience looks super fun. He has a wait list of people who want his t-shirts, his champagne bottles. Like he is just super fun. And people will also buy for an experience. Okay? So just remember your value propositions have to be quantifiable and have to have a guarantee. So, and this is called a unique selling proposition. So a couple of great ones for real estate agents are, look, if you buy this home and you hate it, I will list it for free. Okay, so that is, hey, that's why someone would do this. Or I will sell your home in 30 days guaranteed. Okay, I can get you a cash offer at 70%. You know, like these are things that people do. Okay, but for you, in order to know what unique selling proposition you have to also know the unique needs of your client. Okay, all right, so does that make sense? Okay, so that is actually step one. You know, and then it can incorporate things like branding, right? What does your brand look like? What is the messaging? You know, you do want those things to look super professional because whether or not they have quantifiable communication value, people do indirectly go, I want to work with the person who seems more professional, trendy, on pace. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so next, we're going to talk about database and who you need in your database to generate leads. Okay, so a business can generate referral business and can also generate business based on marketing and advertising. How many of you guys are going to spend money in generating leads this year? Okay, that should be everyone in the room because whether or not you're doing it at a high scale or not, you should be at minimum doing paid advertising to your database and creating a lookalike audience of their friends and family. Okay. It doesn't have to cost you a ton of money, but it's important that you do it because they're seeing a lot of information from other real estate agents and you want to make sure that they always know that they are your client. Okay, so at a minimum, you should do this. Number two, it costs money to market to your database. Okay, people think database marketing is free. It shouldn't be. Okay, like I always want your database strategies to have a couple of client events, a tool that keeps you top of mind like HomeBot. I want you guys to be able to send mass emails, which typically is a subscription service to BombBomb, MailChimp. Okay, so if you ever do any content creation, you'll need photos, you'll need, you know, it's not cheap. Okay, so just know that you will have some sort of strategy there. So anytime you spend money, you want to be able to quantify an ROI. And please write this down. You have to have a call to action that you bring people to. So an IDX website of some kind that's going to capture information, phone number or email. Okay. So remember when I said that you need a database of 300 people? Okay. So there is a page in this booklet I do want you guys to turn to. It's the one with all the happy faces. Now I also want you, don't squirrel on me. I just need you to do this one thing. Go to the contacts in your phone. And I want you to go to the end. And I want you to tell me how many contacts you have in your phone. Just really quick. But don't start texting and don't check your social media.
618.
Perfect. How many do you have then?
590.
Okay. How many do you have?
I don't know how to find it.
Just hit the number sign at the bottom of your contacts. Or just scroll all the way to the bottom.
If you...
Of course, I have a droid.
469.
So why?
Yeah, but it should still be at the bottom.
No,
Go to the bottom of your, it should tell you how many contacts you have.
mine didn't, so I had to go back.
But did it tell you?
Yeah, I had to go back though. So the ones that you can't see at the bottom of the number, you have to go back.
Sure. Back to the front?
Oh well, I have an iPhone. So
Yeah,
see.
You should be able to tell how many contacts you have, but the point is here, everyone had somewhere around like 400 contacts.
Oh, 471.
471? Perfect. Okay. We'll help you figure it out.
No,
Okay?
I got like 10.
You can't have 10.
I do,
Why do you have 10?
because
Can
I
you just
didn't
wait?
any bubble before, so I'm breaking out.
Wait.
I really do have 10, half of them are fun.
That's okay that half of them are family. This is the thing that people always get stuck on. It is impossible for you to only know 10 people, but you'll just have to add them to your phone if you only have 10. Do you have social media of any kind? Okay, how many friends do you have on social media?
117.
Okay, that's a much better start. Okay. If truly you only have that many, you're gonna have to start reaching out to people and letting them know you need their contact information. So when I first started my database, I actually could only write down 75 people because at the time that I started, I wasn't educated in database like management, and I only knew 75 adults, and I was 23. So I was like, okay, at 23, like you don't totally know enough people to buy a house. And it was also during the Great Recession, so it was like, for sure, my 23-year-old friends were not, but I should have actually asked them because it would have been nice to meet their parents. Okay, so here's what I'm going to recommend you do. Okay, because how many of you guys have a qualified and sorted database right now? Cool. You're going to start with A in your phone. Okay, and once this person stops calling me, I will get there. So you're going to start with A in your phone. And what I want for you guys to do is I want you guys to figure out who is this A person. So are they a friend, a family member, a past client, somebody you met at an open house, an internet lead? Like, how do we know the first person in your phone? Okay? Now, we're going to score them based on their ability to refer you and how much you like them, okay? So, no, it's true. So if they don't get a high enough score, I'm going to tell you what to do. They don't belong in your database. This is our relationships list, right? So if you're going to like be really tactical with marketing and spending and making a lookalike audience, it has to be to people that really move the needle in your business. I'm not saying you can't be friends and communicate with these people. We add them to a marketing list, we see them at a carne asada, but like they're not our people, you know? Okay, so so on a scale of 1 to 6, how much do you like them? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So you want it to be 6 or greater. Okay? So for me, that means that if you are me to the door's distance away at the grocery store, you are going to make effort to go and say hello to that person. And if that person sees you, right, they're going to make effort to see you, right? So you also want them to like you a 6 or greater. So you like them a 6 or greater, they like you a 6 or greater. Okay, that's first 2 criteria. Then the next is, does this person have a database or a network greater than a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, so this is like the head of the PTA, their manager at their store. They have like 60 family members, 4 brothers and sisters and 1 million cousins, right? They're on a softball league, on a golf league. They're part of a social club, right? Like those people that you see are active, okay? Please don't take this the wrong way. People who live in bubbles would not make the list, okay? No, it's so important, right? Okay, so then you want them to be able to refer to their network greater than a 6, right? So would they use that influence to refer you or refer anyone? Okay. Now sometimes we don't know this, but the easiest way to find out who's a great referral person is 1, if you ask them for a referral, and then 2, if you post it on social media. Okay, so like right now is a really easy time to ask for a good CPA. People just got through their business taxes, they just did their extensions if they were late personally, right? So anybody who is done with taxes, this is a pretty good time, plus tax accountants aren't not busy. Okay, so I would post on social media that you're looking for a really great CPA, right, to recommend to clients and to do your taxes. And then based on the people that you believe have good networks, I would also text message each one of them, asking them if they have a referral. Okay, if they don't respond, if they do respond, like the quality of their response, right? So if they're like, yep, they just shoot you over a name and number, okay, that's an okay. If they're like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this person, he saved me so much money on my taxes, he's amazing, you gotta call him, let me do an intro, we want those people, okay?
I like that.
Yes, okay. So you want people with a 24 score or better, okay? Now you may not end up with 300 people that have 24 scores, but you'll at least end up with somewhere around 150, right? Especially because we know thousands of people. Yep.
So 24 meaning, so 6 they like you, and then 6 they have a network, and then you have those.
6 they like you, 6 you like them, 6 they have a network, 6 they're willing to use that network to refer you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the idea is to get to 300, okay? My assumption is that you'll probably know 150 just based off the people, your friends, family. Now I'm going to give you an example. My mom, I love her to death. Today's actually her birthday. But she is actually not on my marketing list at all. Okay, I've done all of my mom's home loans. Okay, she would not use anyone else for home loans. But the thing is, I remember taking her off my marketing list when I pre-qualified her assistant manager at an auction randomly, and my mom gave her the day off to buy a piece of real estate. Like she knew that she was going to a real estate auction to buy property, and my mom did not recommend me. And when I asked my mom, I was like, hey, I'm literally taking this lady's loan out, and she's saying she works at Raytheon. I'm like, oh my God, my mom, it's like 10,000 people that work there, so I'm not thinking she works with my mom. And then she says she's in quality control, and I'm like, my mom's in quality control. And then she says she's like the assistant quality engineer, and I'm like, I'm sorry, do you know Martha Hoeffer? And she's like, yeah, that's my boss. She gave me the day off to go buy this property. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, did she mention that I do home loans? And then when I asked my mom, she said, oh, well, I don't ever want to like use my name. What if it goes wrong? And I was like, oh my goodness, that's so crazy. And she's like, but how lucky that she found you anyway. And what was interesting about that is that not everyone that knows and likes us and trusts us is willing to use their influence to help you, because they're worried about the what if scenario in case worst case scenario happens. Okay, so my mom, I know if asked directly, like if they said, Martha, do you have a good loan officer? She would for sure say, well, my daughter does it, but don't blame me if anything happens. Like, that's the kind of referral I would get. So I'm not ever going to ask for them. Okay. Now I still, give her a birthday present. I still love on her. She's mom in my phone, but I'm never going to call on her for business, nor am I going to ever ask her for any business stuff. There are people that we know of in our databases. Like we have girlfriends that are like that. We have like lots of family members are like that, believe it or not. And so just because we know them and like them, that's why it's so important to be able to qualify them all the way. Okay? And then to be able to ask the tough questions. Like there was nothing I was going to be able to do to convert that because I'm obviously not a therapist working on whatever her childhood trauma is, Okay, Mariela.
Yeah, so this is super helpful because I thought everyone was supposed to be in your CRM, and I have like 2,200 contacts in my phone and over 3,500 in Facebook.
So they are supposed to be in your CRM. So let me go ahead and clarify that. You want a lot of people in your marketing list. My marketing list is 10,000 people. I email to them, they get my videos, I market to them, they get like 2,500 people are in HomeBot for me. But I have 300 people that I am calling, sending note cards to, visiting, having meetings with, that I'm deepening relationships with, because those are the people that are gonna generate referrals, that I'm gonna spend money with to market and advertise, right? So it's 300 of those relationships.
That makes it super simple. I have another real quick question. So
Yeah.
several years ago, I saw you live at a like luxury speaking event, and a lot of the gold nuggets I got were super essential for my business. And one of those was, I know you, when you started, you were using Facebook kind of like a CRM, like you mentioned something along those lines. And for me, it's like, maybe you have a tip for me. It's incredibly overwhelming when you have 3,500 people to put them like, okay, these are realtors, these are potential clients, these live in
I do it
Florida.
every day on people's birthdays. So as you get the birthday list, I qualify them and sort them into a list. So remember when I told you that your job is to call 10 people a day and 5 people on their birthdays? So there's always 5 people to call on their birthdays through social media, and then that's how I sort the list, bring new people into my list, check for life events. Yeah. That was a great question.
What about sorting them though? Like, do you just put an hour time to put people into categories? I'm like super overwhelmed.
I just on their birthdays, like I literally go and I will wish them a happy birthday, and then I will plug them in the list and or I'll delete them.
So, five of those people, you just categorize them for that day.
Yeah,
Five
just
that have
who's ever
birthdays.
on the birthday list that day.
Okay, I didn't get it. Okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
no, it's okay. And here's the other thing too, when you're creating the database. So once you go down the phone, you're gonna qualify them, right? So if they pass this 24 list, they're gonna stay in there for sure. If they do not pass the gut test, like the very first question is they're below a 6, you delete them. If you cannot delete them, you add a Z to their name and they just go to the bottom.
That's smart.
It's super important for you to do that because you'll not prospect regularly if you hate the people you're talking to. Like, you just will not. So very important that you do that. And you can't get rid of everyone, so that's why you put a Z in front of their name. And so they just go all the way to the bottom.
You're not talking about deleting them from your phone contacts, but from your CRM?
If I don't like you greater than a 6, you're gone. That is the truth. I don't keep people I don't like.
I like that.
I know.
You never know who I am when I call.
Oh, stop. No, but it's true. It's like we get really scared about deleting people that might buy from us, but you're never going to call the guy that you do not like. You just won't. So might as well get rid of them. So then once you've qualified that this person is somebody you want in your database, you do also want to sort one more time. So that was qualifying. Now you want to sort is this person a past or current client? Is this person a business contact? Right? And is this person just a VIP person, so nobody I'm going to network with, refer also, but just generally like and has good influence? Okay? So I have tons of past clients I love to death. Like Chris Tree Fry is one of my VIP clients. I love him to death. Take him to dinner at least once a quarter. Really good referral partner. I love him to death. He's always on the list. Okay? My estate planning attorney is also a client of mine. Like 10 years ago, I do most of his estate planning clients. He's who I refer to if I'm going to do like any kind of marketing towards estate planning. He's the go-to guy for that, right, for me. But we're business relationship. Like, I'm not going to go and invite him to a happy hour to hang out. He's not coming to my Christmas party. Like, I'm never going on vacation with him. Okay. And then you have your influencers, so people you love, right? So I have a couple of these in my life. So they're just like the social networkers. Like, I would consider you somebody like that, right? So has a ton of influence, big database, loves to refer, but they're just part of the VIP group, right? So I'm gonna invite them to like the open, I'll invite them to happy hours, I'll invite them to things where we're gonna get together off. They're more like friends with influence. Does that make sense? All right. So you want to grow that list. So you'll probably know 150 people that already qualify into that. And then the goal is to meet another 150 people. So you will do that through social networking, okay? So that means that once a week you have to be intentional about organizations that host events that you could go to and intentionally meet people, okay? So when I first started out, that looked like BNI, that looked like TAN. There was a lady named Raven, and then there was a guy named Austin who threw networking events. There's tons of them. You can find them on meetup.com. Today, I actually network a lot with my sorority alumni group. I host a women's mastermind, just myself, for women entrepreneurs. I created something called the Phoenix Network Connection. It used to be the Scottsdale Network Connection, but then I moved. Right? So those are things that I created so that I can invite people to, so that I can meet people at other events and then have a follow-up. Does that make sense? But this is how I get the 15 to 20 face-to-faces per week. Okay? And it's really easy to network and refer people when you're talking to them about this and you're adding value by introducing them to other people. Okay? So like I'm in the process of setting up one now for females in finance because I want to get to break into that divorce market. And so I was like, who can refer me to a female financial planner? I want a female CPA. I already have a divorce attorney. I already have a divorce mediator. I already have a therapist, right? Like, so I'm creating and cultivating this group. This group will be a referral group back to me that then I can introduce to real estate agents, right, and get referrals. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, but we'll meet on a weekly basis. I'll knock out 8 of my face-to-faces right there, right, and then we can co-market and brand. And so if you have 4 of those groups, right, that meet once a month or meet every week or whatever, right, that's basically where all of your referrals can go to. There's a really good book called Mr. Schmooze that teaches you the art of doing this. Okay, I would recommend reading it. It's 100 pages. Okay. Now, once you have a database, you have to have a frequency of dialing it. Okay, so I just told you how to build it. Okay, conceptually, I know you guys are all smart enough to do it. I know a million different real estate agents that have a database that they do not work. And that sounds kind of crazy, but it just happens all the time. So here's the fastest way to do it. As you are calling and qualifying these people, I want you to add whoever the first 10 people are that make the list. Like if that's today, you qualify 10 people, you make those 10 calls. They're going to be the same people you call December 15th. So you're just going to make a reoccurring once a month call to these same exact people. The quality of your conversation has to be good though, so that you have a reason to call them in a month. Okay? So if you're calling them now, you're wishing them like, hey, I just want to get to you right before the holidays. I hope all is well with you. Tell me how the family is. Is there any big thing you're working on with your job? Right? Any big plans for the holidays? And what's one thing you want to accomplish in 2024? I'd love to help you with that. Okay? That same person, if they're not a jerk, because they've met your 24 list, right, they are going to go, oh my gosh, how's your family? How's the work going? You have to have something really dynamic to say about real estate and not, it's great. I'm so excited I became a realtor. Or great. Like that's what all people, great is like, I don't have anything to say or I don't want to talk to you. So it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy you asked. The market has a ton of new inventory for it. And I'm really excited because it's the best time to buy. People are still getting discounts on prices and concessions. And I have this really great program with HomeLight that I can get you a cash offer at 70% of your house so that you can go and buy your new one. And then they'll split the profits with you when you go to sell your house for real. Like, that's an awesome thing. Like, do you know of anyone that could use this information? Right? Like, you have to have something dynamic to say so that people will refer you. Okay? Now, when they tell you what their big goal is, you better write it down, figure out a follow-up to then go call them back with, okay? That's the secret to all of my calls, is I literally find something that I can help somebody with, I follow back up with them in a week or so, get them the item that they need, find something else to follow up with them on, add value all the time. Okay? Does that make sense as a concept for calling?
Thank God this is recorded.
It is recorded, because that script, you guys should go back and listen to it and repeat it. That's a good script. So you're gonna set those 10 calls every single month, okay? And then I want you guys to do things that are supportive of the calls. Okay, so remember I said one prospecting thing, it's gotta be calls. There's nothing that replaces calls. I love social media, I love open houses, I love all of it, but face-to-face, door knocking, face-to-face, shaking hands, kissing babies, and phone calls are gonna be the things that generate the most leads. So who wants the most leads? Right, that should be everyone,
Yeah.
right? Like, that should be everyone, we want the most leads. Social media, marketing, farming, newsletters, all that stuff, I generate about 200 deals a year with that stuff. But you guys, I have been doing it for a decade. Like, I have been on social media. I mean, the first Facebook class I taught was 7 years ago.
Can we do another one?
So, do you know what I mean? Like, so just so you know, it's a long game. It's not fast. And like, I don't even have that big of an influence. So for 7 years, you would think that I would have like thousands of followers. I have 15 on YouTube and I have 8 on Instagram. It takes a long time. And I have a 10,000 person database over a decade. Like for me, that's just like a very long time to only have 10,000 people, you know? So just know that yes, it does produce deals, but you gotta be invested for a really long time and very consistent with it, okay? So what are you gonna do first as a prospecting activity? I see everyone's commitment here that we're closing deals. What are we doing?
I'm sorry, I'm writing something down.
What is our number one prospecting thing?
We had a call.
Okay, cool. Got it. What are we doing?
Going through my contacts,
And then,
reaching out,
Calling.
doing a bunch of stuff, yeah.
perfect, okay. I just wanna make sure everyone knows you're calling.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting
Yeah.
really dialed in on, no other things.
Well, I got all the notes here, but
No, I know,
gotta
I
get
got
on
you.
the phone. Yeah.
I just wanna make sure we are calling.
Yeah.
Okay, so after calling, I want you guys to do things that help you make phone calls. So I send out a weekly newsletter that I write, okay? It is just an email on my opinions. That is it. It doesn't have any fancy HTML. It's very basic. I get a 41% open rate, which is very high because it has really good value. I teach people one thing a week that they can use to sell the marketing, they can record a video on, that they can create social media on, and I'm giving my opinion on what's happening with rates, plus a link to rates. Okay? 10,000 people, I'm getting almost half of them to open it. Okay? It's really good. So, what I use that for is I have VIP lists of referral partners that every single Monday I call and I'm saying, hey, I just sent out that information, but here's something additional that I didn't put in it. Here's something VIP for you. And then I'm giving them a suggestion for how we can co-market it together. Okay, so that's how my Mondays start. Then on Tuesdays, I'm taking that same information and I'm using it to update all of my current clients. Hey, I just sent out this newsletter. I'm gonna go ahead and forward it to you. Here's what's going on in the market. Here's what's happening with your home loan. Like, do you have any questions? Is there anything that my team can do for you? Right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you? Okay, and if they give me a 10 or better, like, you know, a 9 or better, I always say, oh my God, thank you so much. It would mean the world to me if you're this happy with our services, if you could introduce me to somebody else. Okay, it would really mean the world to me. Is there anyone that you know? You'd be surprised how many people refer you right on the spot. Okay, so then on Wednesday, I'm taking that same information now and I'm calling past clients. And I'm saying, hey, here's what's going on with the market. I just, wrote this email. I thought it would be really helpful to you. Did you check out your home bot? Okay, Thursday, I'm meeting with all my business people. Okay, Friday, I'm calling all my hot leads. Okay, and sometimes I switch Thursdays and Fridays. I've been calling my hot leads on Fridays. I used to call them on Thursdays. For realtors, I might recommend calling them on Thursdays so you can book people in your car to see that weekend. We've been calling people on Friday because I want to know who's going out to go see, but I used to call them on Thursdays and then call my business people on Fridays because they were pretty available. People don't like to work that hard on Fridays, so I could book them for an appointment the next week. Okay, so that's how that goes. Okay, so that's the structure, 10 calls every single day. Okay, and then You do want to have either a weekly or monthly newsletter. I would try to get out at least one video per week. If you can't, just do it monthly. Okay, so one video monthly. And you want it to go out to at least 1,000 people. Then you're going to want a birthday program, so you'll want to know the birthdays of all the people in your database. So whether it's a card, a $2 bill, a scratcher ticket, cupcakes, whatever you need to have a good, fun referral birthday program.
Do you do that to your whole database or just your clients?
You have to refer me or close me one bill in here. That's what qualifies you.
To get up in the 6 area.
Well, to get cupcakes from me.
How do I get those?
That is how you get cupcakes from me. And then when people ask, because I've had people ask me, I'm like, I literally say that. I'm just like, oh, well, this is my, my client program. I send cupcakes to people that we close deals with in that past year, right? So I'm not indirectly saying, because it does obviously cost money, and we don't want to be against RESPA, but I do have, that is who qualifies. All right. And so then you want birthday program, and then you want to celebrate holidays. So I would recommend one quarterly event for clients. And then something that goes out to them on a monthly basis that either updates the home search or updates their property value, like a home bond. Okay. In total, you want to make sure that your communication process to clients has a touch of like 36 or more. So between phone calls, so imagine you're going to call them 12 times. They're going to get 12 emails from you, right? They're going to get at least 4 quarterly invites from you. Okay, do you see how easy it is to get the 36? Okay. So that's a lot on prospecting. We talked about the client avatar. I'm going to give you this sheet. This is how you market online, okay? And I'm going to spend not that much time totally talking about this because we got to wrap up here, but this is actually how you do all sales. So this is how I do all my sales. So we are dynamic people. We're not just realtors or loan officers, okay? So you have to be able to talk about your life when it comes to social media. 100% business pages are only for ads. People rarely see them. So you want everyone to be on your personal page. So every single person has to be your personal friend on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay? You have to be consistently posting at least once a day on the feed itself. And then you have to have a bunch of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I would pick one theme to talk about for 2 weeks. Okay, so one theme, 2 weeks. Okay? And so, what you will pick is, let's say you decided to pick buying with high interest rates. Okay? So that would be the theme. Okay? You're going to break that up into how does this impact your niche client? How does this, and that's one post. How does this impact your secondary client? Okay? And then we're going to go buyer perspective on 1 week. We're going to go seller's perspective another week. Okay? So how that would look, right, is I'm going to say, okay, first-time home buyers, it's wonderful for you to buy with high interest rates because of your negotiation leverage. Then the next day I'm going to say, first-time home buyers buying in a high interest rate market, here's what you need to know about getting the lowest payment. Okay? And then I'm going to say, first-time home buyers that are veterans, here's something extra special for you that you can do with closing costs, right? Because you're buying in a high interest rate environment. Okay? And then I'm talking about, do you see how I'm kind of just stretching the whole thing out? Okay? And then I will give a client success story of how they utilize this. And then the following week, I will take, sellers who are listing their properties in a high interest rate environment, how should they be marketing to buyers? And then I'll take that same strategy and be like, how do you utilize a 2-1 buy down for a listing? And then, hey, if you were a seller, how would you market towards veteran buyers? And then I will give a client success story. Okay? Now the reason I take 2 weeks for one theme is because it takes 8 times for a client to see one message to really comprehend what you do. So believe it or not, you have to. So if you look at my social media, literally look, I posted something about. I sent out an email about what was happening with the CPI report. I did a story about the CPI report. I posted that same story to my feed. I did a stagnant quote tile about what was in my newsletter. I'm going to talk about retail sales after I do this. And then I'll have a quote tile about retail sales after this. Okay, and then it's always what happens to the client and where they can go. Okay, now that's all the business stuff. Okay, and how I do it. Here's how to create endless content. Okay, I am passionate about personal development, personal growth, God, anything that has to do with being a better human. Okay, that's my passion. My profession is home loans, and my pursuit is what I'm learning. So I'm always learning things about personal finance, the economy, all these things. These are new to me. Okay. Okay. Then I write down my client avatar, right? So first-time home buyers, and then I'm going. First-time home buyers have affordability is an issue. Cash to close is an issue. Not knowing the process is an issue. Having parents that raised them in the Great Recession is an issue, right? Fear of the market crash, right? These are all their fears. And then I'm talking to them about solutions. My solutions would be 2-1 buy down. It would be ROI calculator, which is showing them just how much money they net, the cost per waiting. It's also the Smart Sense budget. So I teach them how to save $200 in their monthly budget so they can put it towards a down payment. Right? So those things, right? So I'm putting them, and I always have a call to action, and my call to action is a sign up in my website. So they can get a quote, they can get the budget, or they can sign up to my newsletter. Okay? So the idea is that I'm always collecting information. So how you do this is you pick a passion, a profession, a passion, a pursuit, or a pursuit and a passion. So you pick 2 of the 3 here, 1 problem, 1 solution. And you take your theme of the 2 weeks, and you apply it to that as many times as possible.
Did you say it takes 8 times? Is that where you do it for 2 weeks?
Yeah. And I personally find it difficult to think of that many new topics. I mean, seriously, I look at those real estate agents and they're like, one day they're talking about buy downs, the next thing they're talking about houses in Casa Grande, and the next minute they're talking about VA loans, and the next day, and it's like, okay, I don't get a message from here. Like, the reason that Nike and Apple work so well as brands is because they keep it simple. They keep it to just do it, right, and easy. Like, it's just ease of use for a computer, ease of use of a phone, ease of use of my Apple Watch. Do you see what I'm saying? And so if we keep it simple and consistent in message, right, then it just works. And you can post whatever you want about your own life so long as it brings value to the consumer. Your people like it, okay? And you will know that they like it because your feed will tell you what your most popular posts are. So my most popular post, believe it or not, and this I like kind of cringe, and I can't believe this is recorded, but I get a lot of people commenting on outfit posts. Yeah. Outfit, like, yeah.
I did today.
I know, and I almost hesitated saying it, but it's just people comment a lot on outfits, right? So I wouldn't generally be the kind of person to post an outfit of the day. It's just, and to each their own. I post it because it's what gets the most engagement. Like, and I do it every couple of like weeks or so because it boosts the engagement. Like I said, and sometimes it's hard for me to even figure out what to say, so I will use ChatGPT to help me with this because I have resistance on it. And so like yesterday I was like, how would Amy Schumer ask if she looked like Kris Jenner? I'm not kidding. And then I posted that. Right? So just know that you can post whatever about your life so long as it brings value to your people, and they will tell you based on the engagement. So they will ask you questions, they will like it, they will post on it, everyone's like, oh my god, I'm so surprised, the picture of my kids got it. It's like, of course, because they came to see you, they love the kids, they get value from that, right? You know, you make a post about something vulnerable, they like it, post it. You know?
Engagement's like 37 likes, that's a good solid.
No, engagement is whatever got the most traction. It depends, like engagement will increase as you engage, So if you want more people to like and engage with your stuff, you actually have to go like and engage with their stuff. It does take effort. It is not easy. And you have to post things that people can walk away with and either want to share it with someone else or save it for themselves. Okay? Or it made them laugh, like I said, or made some part of their life easy. Okay? If you're going to post what you ate that day, talk about the restaurant, why it's so great, where is it located, what's the price point. Like, give value. If you thought the meal was so great, why? You know, sometimes people post things and they have no value. A lot of times, like, if I post an outfit and I get a lot, I'm like, here's the links. Like, because that's the value in it for other people. Do you know what I mean? That's the value in it for other people. And, like, I won't always know. Like, yesterday I had no intentions of posting the outfit, but I started getting people asking me about, like, hey, I really like this. So then I was like, all right, great. I posted it because you get the comments and then you just post the thing. Like, a lot of people ask me how I'm able to do all the things that I do. I just started posting my schedule. Like, you just have to know it's totally cool to post whatever you want to post so long as people are asking you about it. And if they don't ask you about it, tell your friends. Tell your family. You don't have to post everything. Like, there's so much about my life that people do not care about. Okay? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. For the next 90 days, okay, if you could focus on 1 social media post a day, 1 story post a day, 10 phone calls, great conversations that you're getting a referral from, the goal is 2, right, or setting a business meeting with, right, 2 note cards and 25 face-to-faces, however you get them throughout the week. That is a recipe to have your best year ever, even in a down market. Okay? Guys, did you guys walk out of here with at least 1 nugget?
Oh, yes.
Okay, did you walk out of here with the systems that you guys wanted? Okay, we did talk about prospecting. Okay, now balance just really quick. You cannot do everything, which is why you have to be systematized. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. I'm doing a workout by like 5:36 a.m. I meditate, read, and drink 16 ounces of water. So I take care of myself first thing in the morning because my day is very busy. And when my kids are with me, it's all about them. Okay? So in order to have balance, you have to be able to prioritize what's important to you. Okay? And so if you are filled up first, you get to be met. Okay? Then you concentrate on work when you're there, and then you don't let it like dip into your personal time. Okay? You have to be hardcore about the time block, which means that every single thing has to be on your account, like on your calendar, including going to the bathroom.
I saw that.
I mean, people laugh about it, but it's like, that's when I'm going. That's what I'm doing. I just want to be so on point that there's like, when I'm at home, I can be at home. Okay? When I'm focusing on myself, I'm focusing on myself. And nobody calls me at 5:30 in the morning. Like, my kids aren't even up at 5:30 in the morning. Okay? So balance is difficult. It's just not impossible. You just have to focus and be super directed. And you can't tell yourself stories about how busy you are and how it's not possible for you. Awesome. If I gave you a nugget today, I hope you remember that I am not a public speaker and I am a loan officer. And I teach these classes because I hope to grow your business so I can grow mine. Okay? So I appreciate you. I'll be after to answer any questions, but thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. And if you guys could all sign the check-in sheet over here, we have your info, we can add you to our marketing and all that. Thank you.